Assalamu alaikum and welcome to With the Prophet. I'm Ali Coleman, our viewer host. We are looking at the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and how he, the Prophet, interacted with his companions during his life. Our guest of Saudi Arabia, Sheikh Assim Alhakeem. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you so much, Sheikh, for being with us to open the subject about how the Prophet, peace be upon him, interacted with his companions, his faithful companions. We should probably start with an understanding about exactly who we should consider as companions. There's across the 1.8 billion Muslims, there's somewhat difference of opinion about exactly who the Sahaba are, what their rank is in Allah's sight and to the Prophet. Let's start by defining who the Sahaba are.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala abdihi wa rasulihi al-amin. Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd. As you've correctly stated, the scholars differed in defining the title of Sahaba.
Okay.
So, as-Sahabi, meaning the companion of the Prophet ﷺ, is defined as a person who met the Prophet ﷺ as a Muslim and died as a Muslim.
Okay.
So by this you can take out the hypocrites who met the Prophet ﷺ. They were hypocrites and were soon forgotten, and nobody considered them to be among the companions because they were well known to the companions of the Prophet ﷺ. And also from this definition we extract those who saw the Prophet or met the Prophet ﷺ while they were disbelievers and did not believe until he died. And they became Muslim, then they're not companions. Or those who apostatized and abandoned Islam and died as disbelievers. Now, when we talk about this segment of the society, we are talking about the elite. The Prophet ﷺ, when he was talking about the best of generations, he said the best of generations is my generation. That is the generation of the companions.
Right.
And those who follow them. And he's talking about the tabi'een, the followers, or those who saw the companions but did not see the Prophet ﷺ. And those who follow them. And these are the tabi'een, who saw the tabi'een but did not see the companions. May Allah be pleased with them. So the Prophet is telling us ﷺ, that these three generations are the best generations ever to walk the earth. And why is that? Because they carried the religion to us. And this is why we have a very high level of respect and love towards the companion. May Allah be pleased with them, because without them we would not have received the Quran, we would not have learned the Sunnah, and we would not have known what events took place at the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ.
I'd like to pick up, thank you for that answer. I'd like to pick up on what you just said about the Quran and the role of the Sahaba, may Allah be pleased with them, in bringing us, facilitating the Quran coming to us. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was receiving these revelations. And he himself was not a literate man. He wasn't going home, opening up, pen and paper and write. Talk about how this was happening. I mean, it happened over in stages. Principally, who were the writers? Do we know who they were? Can you talk about that?
Well, first of all, the Prophet ﷺ revelation continued for 23 years. And he had scribes who were responsible for writing whatever is revealed to him. 1 ayah, 2 ayahs, a full chapter, depending on the revelation it came. So we know that Umar ibn al-Khattab Uthman ibn Affan, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan, Zayd ibn Thabit, all of these learned companions who used to read and write, whenever they were in the presence of the Prophet, he had like half a dozen or more of them.
I see.
So whenever a revelation came, they would just simply bring a piece of leather, a piece of a tree, of leaves or bones, and they would write on them, and the people would learn it by the word of mouth or by scribing another copy of it. This is how it was revealed. And it is well known that the Quran was memorized. It is verses in the chest of the believers. So let us assume, hypothetically, that all copies of the Quran is burnt to the ground today. No problem. Tomorrow we'll write an exact replica without a single letter different, without a single vowel different, because it is memorized by hundreds, literally hundreds of millions of people. I go in my masjid, I lead the prayer, a child of 10 years of age correct me when I make a mistake. Though I am the imam, he corrects me without any problem. And I accept that and I embrace it because the boy is preserving the Quran.
Yeah, it's really an amazing thing when you stop to think about it. All right, a slight sidetrack. So thank you for indulging me on that. Let's go back to the relationship between the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his companions. How would you? You've told us so much, and we've got snippets here and there. But let's be direct about it this time and describe for us the relationship, how he interacted with them, how he viewed them, valued them, so on and so forth.
Okay, in terms of valuing them, we and the Muslims know for certain that there are top 4. And these top 4 are out of top 10. And then we have those who are known to have participated in the Battle of Badr. We know that there are those who migrated ahead of others. So the ranking differs among the companions. The best 4 are Abu Bakr, then Umar, then Uthman, then Ali, known as the 4 caliph, the rightly guided caliphs of Islam. They were the rulers after the Prophet ﷺ.
In that order.
In that order. And their status to Allah is in the same order. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned these 4 among 10 of the companions. So there were 6 more. When the Prophet mentioned them, he said, so and so is in Jannah. Abu Bakr is in Jannah. Umar is in Jannah. Uthman is in Jannah. Ali is in Jannah. Abu Ubaidah Amir ibn al-Jarrah is in Jannah. Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas is in Jannah. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf is in Jannah. Az-Zubair ibn al-Awwam is in Jannah. Talha ibn Ubaidillah is in Jannah. Sa'id ibn Zayd ibn Amr ibn Nufayl is in Jannah. 10 people. In the unanimous decision of Muslims that these are the best of the best. Then you have other companions. I'll just give you an example of, one would say, oh, okay, companions are all the same. They're all knowledgeable, they're all good. You know a companion by the name of Khalid ibn al-Walid? He was a great warrior. He was a great leader. And the Prophet ﷺ described him as the sword of Allah. This description is not given easily. So when the Prophet compliments a person by saying that he's the sword of Allah, this means that this guy has a lot under the hood. However, in the Sahih, Khalid ibn al-Walid once argued and disputed with Abdurrahman ibn Auf, one of the top 10 companions of the Prophet ﷺ. What did the Prophet do when he heard about this dispute? One would say, okay, this is one of the 10 heaven bound, and this one is the sword of Allah. It happens. No. The Prophet said, ﷺ, addressing the whole of the companions, wouldn't you leave my companions for me? This is addressing Khalid. But I'm your companion as well. But the Prophet is showing the difference. Wouldn't you leave my companions for me? For by Allah, if one of you, he's addressing Khalid, if one of you would to give in charity the weight of Mount Uhud in gold, that would not come close to the hands full of my companions, or not even half of it. So the Prophet is actually saying that no matter what you do, Khalid, even if you pay in charity the weight of Mount Uhud in gold, this would not come close to what Abdurrahman offers to Allah Azza wa Jal.
I see.
And that was it. Not only that, even with Abu Bakr and Umar, how close can that be? We know that Umar was so close to the Prophet ﷺ, so beloved to the Prophet ﷺ. Abu Bakr and him always went out and came in with the Prophet ﷺ. Yet once Abu Bakr said something inappropriate to Umar. Then he went to his house trying to seek forgiveness, but Umar did not come out. So Abu Bakr went to the Prophet ﷺ, apologizing for his mistake towards Umar and asking him to intercede. Yani Abu Bakr is admitting his fault. Umar went to Abu Bakr's house and he did not find him. So he went to the masjid to meet him because he felt that maybe I should have accepted his apology. The moment he walked into the masjid, the face of the Prophet ﷺ changed. Abu Bakr went down on his knees and said, "O Prophet of Allah, I'm the wrong one. It is my mistake." And the Prophet said, ﷺ, "Wouldn't you leave my companion for me?" Abu Bakr believed me when everyone else said I'm a liar. Abu Bakr gave his money and wealth to assist me and to help me when everyone else deprived me from that. Wouldn't you leave my companion for me? And he's addressing this to Umar. Then the people, the companions said, after that day, no one ever touched Abu Bakr or dared to say something against him. This is the status of Abu Bakr to the Prophet ﷺ.
Wow, thank you so much for that, Sheikh. We are ready for a break, and we will come back to continue with Sheikh Assim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to With the Prophet. We're continuing with Sheikh Assim. I always pronounce your name like awesome, A-W-E-S-O-M-E. Awesome.
Both work, there's no problem.
Thank you for your, you know, in relationships, the Prophet time and time again, peace be upon him, proves himself to be a man that, a truly unique and unusual man. I mean, his humility, his love, his compassion, his mercy, he was really different from the mold that we are accustomed to recognizing as a man. In any organization, public, private, for-profit, non-government, so on and so forth, there's a hierarchy. And the relationship between leaders, managers, and workers is an important one, how to maintain healthy relationship. And so the question I'm trying to get to is characterizing the nature of the Prophet's relationship with his companions, peace be upon him. Was he rigid with them? I think not. Was he open to them? Did he defend them? Did he protect their feelings? Did he resolve disputes? Yes, yes, yes. Did he joke with them? Elaborate on these points and the nature of his relationship.
If we would like to elaborate, this would take us like 6 or 7 more episodes,
Yeah.
and it won't be enough. The Prophet ﷺ was the perfect human being. So when you talk about perfection in regards to being a human being, he was the manifestation of such perfection. His time was fully utilized to the particular second. So he used to visit his companions one by one. He used to counsel them, solve their problems, answer their invitations, visit them when they're sick and make dua, attend their funerals, attend their burials, attend their weddings, check upon them if something was missing or something was wrong. If there was a task at hand, he would always give a helping hand, as in the case of digging the trench, which we all know about the battle of the Khandaq or the trench, when the idol worshippers of Quraysh and the tribe of Ghatafan were planning to attack Medina. Immediately the companions gave advice to the Prophet ﷺ to dig a trench around it to delay their penetration of the borders and they can attack. And this is also one of the things that manifest or illustrate the relationship between the Prophet and his companions ﷺ, that he used to ask them for consultation. He says, advise me, O people, what do you think? And they advised him to dig the trench. One man, for example, who used to attend the court of the Prophet ﷺ, and he had a young child that came from behind his back and played. He's his father, plays with the father. One day, the guy did not come. And the Prophet asked, where is my companion so-and-so? And they told him that his beloved son had died. So the man was in mourning. The man was sad and depressed. So the Prophet went to him, ﷺ, and condoled him and gave him his sympathy and condolences. And then the Prophet asked him, would you like that your son is with us today playing with you? Or would you like on the day of judgment that he meets you on the gates of paradise and admits you to it? He said, no, by Allah, I'd like him to admit me to paradise. The Prophet said, so it is. So when you see the interaction of the Prophet ﷺ, he used to joke with them.
Okay.
And they used to tell him, O Prophet of Allah, you joke with us. And he says, yes, but I do not say except that is true. So a woman, an old woman comes in and says, O Prophet of Allah, pray to me that I enter Jannah. The Prophet says, Jannah, paradise, is not, old women are not admitted to paradise. So the woman starts to weep. And the Prophet smiles and says, you will return to be young in your 33 years of age. So the Prophet didn't lie.
He didn't, yeah.
So another person comes in, the Prophet jokes, ﷺ, and he has like trachoma in his eye, in one of his eyes. So the Prophet invites him to eat dates. While he's eating dates, the Prophet says, you're eating dates with trachoma in your eye, with this infection in your eye. And the boy and this companion says, yes, but I'm eating with the other eye, with the healthy eye. So the Prophet jokes with them. Once there was a man by the name of Zahir, and he's a Bedouin, who used to come and do practical jokes. For example, he sees something in the market and he buys it from the owner and he takes it and he tells the owner to come to collect your money. And he goes to the Prophet ﷺ and he gives him this thing and he says, oh Prophet Allah, this is a gift. I liked it for you. And the Prophet is thankful. And a few minutes later, the owner comes. And Zahir says to the owner, collect your money from the Prophet.
Yeah.
And the Prophet laughs of this. Once the Prophet went into the market and saw Zahir. So he came from behind him. He embraced him and said, who will buy this slave from me? And the guy was trying to get loose and loose the grip. But then when he heard the voice of the Prophet ﷺ, he started going back, wanting to touch the body of the Prophet ﷺ and remain in this. So when he said, who will buy this slave from me? Zahir said, oh Prophet of Allah, then no one will buy me. I'm not something good to be sold. So the Prophet said, but you at the side of Allah is expensive. You are expensive at the side of Allah. So the Prophet jokes.
Yeah.
But he doesn't cross the line. He doesn't lie. And it's not something that is frequently done like stand-up comedians or jokers or clowns. No. The Prophet has respect. Yeah. But every now and then, this breaks the ice. This makes them feel that he is from amongst them. Yet, the relationship between bosses and subordinates usually is a relationship of intimidation. So you're my boss, I would probably fear any reaction from you. This was not with the Prophet ﷺ. There was no intimidation, there was total respect. Amr ibn al-As, who was an adversary and an enemy of Islam until the 8th year of Hijrah, he said, I embraced Islam and now I could not describe the Prophet ﷺ if I were asked to do so. I cannot, because I could not look at him face to face. He's not intimidated, but he is so respectful that he is always looking downwards. He cannot look at the Prophet ﷺ in order to memorize the way he looks and to describe him. This shows you the amount of respect and love they had to the Prophet ﷺ. This individual himself says that I've never met the Prophet ﷺ after accepting Islam except that he would smile in my face. Now look, he has just accepted Islam and he was an enemy. But now he's a Muslim. So whenever he comes and meets the Prophet ﷺ, the Prophet would smile in his face. Until this made him think that he is favored by the Prophet. So himself, this guy, Amr ibn al-As, may Allah be pleased with him, he said, so one day I felt courageous and I said, O Prophet of Allah, who among the people is most beloved to you? Thinking that he will say, you, because you always smile in my face. So he said, Aisha. So, no, Prophet of Allah, among the men.
Right.
Then the Prophet said, Abu Bakr, then Umar, then Uthman, and then the guy knew and understood
he got it.
That this is the nature of the Prophet ﷺ of being so down to earth with his companions that he smiles to all of them.
Yeah, it really changes the dynamic when you have someone who humanizes themselves, is good with the situational humor, as you described. Basic question, going back to who the Sahaba were, may Allah be pleased with them. How was the selection made? Was it based on people who were immediately around him? Did he know them, peace be upon him, before his prophethood began? How did these people, when we look at some of the other prophets, the major prophet preceding Muhammad, Isa, peace be upon him, he went around the town selecting people randomly. He didn't have any previous connections with them. How did it work with Prophet Muhammad?
The Prophet ﷺ did not do any selection per se. It was Allah who selected them for him.
All right.
Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, may Allah be pleased with him, says that Allah Azza wa Jal looked into humanity and selected the best of them to be his messenger, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Then Allah looked in the hearts of all those around him and selected for him the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, who were the elite and the best of the best. Therefore, it was not that he used to go and select them, they were around him. They saw him, they believed in him, they followed him, and they chose to be defending him, fighting for him, learning from him. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, for example, is one of them. He learned 70 plus surahs straight from his mouth. Abu Hurairah stayed with the Prophet the last 4 years of his life, not going anywhere, not working anywhere, only to whatever he can eat with the Prophet ﷺ. Anas ibn Malik, he was with the Prophet for 10 years as his mother brought him, may Allah be pleased with them all. So when you look at the companions and you look at the judgment of character of the Prophet ﷺ, you understand that he is an intellectual person. He knows character. So when he said, Abu Bakr is the most merciful of my ummah to the people. Umar is the strongest. Uthman is the most bashful. Ali is the best of judges. Mu'adh ibn Jabal is one of those who know in division of inheritance. And Abu Ubaidah, he's the Amin, the trustworthy of this ummah. So all of these characteristics, he knew them one by one, and he knew how one was better than the others in all of these things.
Yeah, it sounds like the job that we hear. Coaches, they have to identify, develop talent, natural abilities. That's all the time we have for the Sahaba. Thank you so much for being with us.
Barakallahu feekum.
We will conclude our discussion about the Sahaba, the companions of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and end our discussion. And inshallah, may Allah accept our efforts. Thank you for being with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.